Have you ever imagined showing up for your last class ever, but you have no idea that it's the last one? That's the exact feeling at the very heart of Alphonse Daudet's incredible story, The Last Lesson. Today, we're going to dive into how this short story, which was born from a very real war, became this timeless look at what we lose when we lose our language.
Okay, so to really get this story, we've got to rewind the clock to 1871. France has just lost a huge war against Prussia. That's the kingdom that would pretty much become the German Empire. And as part of the surrender, two French regions, Alsace and Lorraine, are handed over. Now, for the people living there, this is so much more than a line on a map changing. It's like a massive earthquake is about to hit their entire culture, starting in the one place that's most precious, the classroom. So we see all of this happen through the eyes of a young boy named Franz. And, on this particular morning, school is the absolute last place he wants to be. He's running late, he hasn't studied for his grammar test, and the beautiful day outside is just calling to him. The sun's warm, the birds are chirping. Even the sight of Prussian soldiers drilling in a field seems more interesting than his lesson on participles. As he's rushing to school, he passes the town hall and his heart just sinks a little. There's a crowd gathered around the bulletin board. You see, for the last 2 years, that board has been the source of nothing but bad news. Lost battles, draft notices, commands from the new government. He wonders what it could be now, but he's too late to stop and find out. But when he finally gets to the school, that uneasy feeling just gets worse. Because it's quiet. Way too quiet. The usual chaos of the morning, the shouting, desks opening and closing, kids reciting lessons, it's all gone. There's just this heavy, strange silence. I mean, think about the difference here. A normal day was a great bustle, so noisy you could hear it from down the street. But today, it's as still as a Sunday morning. There's no way Franz can just sneak in unnoticed. Everybody is already in their seats, and the whole room just feels solemn. And inside, it just gets weirder. Franz's teacher, M. Hamel, is dressed in his finest clothes, the special suit he only wore on inspection days or for special awards. But the real shock is at the back of the room. The benches there, the ones that are always empty, are now filled with the village elders. And this isn't just a few random people. We're talking about the former mayor, the old postmaster, and other respected folks from town, all just sitting there quietly, looking incredibly sad. Why are all these important people here for a children's lesson? Franz has no clue, but he knows something big is happening. So Franz is bracing himself to get yelled at for being late, but M. Hamel just speaks to him kindly and tells him to take his seat. Then, once Franz is settled, his teacher stands up and, in a voice that is both serious and gentle, he makes the announcement that's going to explain everything. The teacher's words just echo in the silent room. "My children, this is the last lesson I shall give you. An order has come from Berlin. Starting tomorrow, only German is to be taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. This is their very last French lesson." For Franz, those words land like a thunderclap. And in a flash, it all makes sense. The crowd at the bulletin board, the strange quiet at the school, the village elders sitting in the back. They weren't there just for a lesson. They were there for a funeral. They came to say goodbye to their language and to a part of their identity that was being taken away. In that one moment of understanding, Franz's whole world flips upside down. The apathy he felt just an hour ago, it's gone, replaced by this deep, painful regret. All of a sudden, those grammar books he hated feel like old friends he's about to lose forever. So when M. Hamel starts the grammar lesson, the very lesson Franz was dreading, something amazing happens. For the very first time, Franz gets it. It all seems so simple, so clear, and with that understanding comes this sharp sense of guilt. He realizes he had never really listened before, just like his teacher had never explained things with such patience and desperation. Hamel starts to talk about the French language, but not like a teacher anymore. He speaks with this passion that Franz has never seen. He calls it the most beautiful, the clearest, the most logical language in the whole world. And as he speaks, it transforms from just a boring school subject into a priceless treasure that they have to guard. And this brings us to the most powerful idea in the whole story. Hamel says that when a people are enslaved, as long as they hold on to their language, it's as if they have the key to their prison. Think about that. Language is so much more than words. It's identity, It's culture. It's a form of resistance that keeps your spirit alive even when you're not free. As the lesson reaches its heartbreaking conclusion, it feels like M. Hamel is trying to pour everything he is into these final moments. He's desperately trying to give them all the knowledge he has, as if he could somehow impart 40 years of teaching right then and there. After grammar, they do writing. Hamel has these new pages for everyone, with France Alsace written beautifully at the top. Then history, and then the church clock strikes noon. At that exact moment, they hear the trumpets of the Prussian soldiers returning from their drills. The lesson is over. Hamel stands up. He's so pale, he looks tall and ghostly. He tries to speak, but he's choked with emotion. The words won't come out. So instead, he turns to the blackboard, grabs a piece of chalk, and with all of his strength, he writes. He writes 2 huge words, Vive la France, long live France. And then, without saying another word, he just leans his head against the wall and gestures with his hand. School is dismissed, you may go. It's this final, silent, incredibly powerful act of defiance. So why does this story, written over 150 years ago, still hit so hard? Well, it's because it gets at a fundamental truth about being human, that unbreakable link between our language, our identity, and our freedom. At one point during the lesson, Franz hears pigeons cooing on the roof, and he thinks to himself, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons? It sounds like a simple, childish question, but it's so profound. It captures the whole point of the story. Sure, you can change the laws, you can occupy a town, but can you really force a culture out of people's hearts? Can you change the very nature of a place? And that's the lesson that sticks with you. The story is a powerful reminder to cherish the things that define us, our language, our heritage. It's a warning that we often don't realize how much something means to us until we're about to lose it. And it shows that sometimes the most powerful resistance is simply refusing to forget who you are. So I'll leave you with the question this story really asks all of us. Because this isn't just about Franz and his village. It's about all of us. What parts of your own culture, your own identity, your own freedoms are you taking for granted right now? What's the thing that you would only truly learn to value the moment it was gone?